Hi there everyone, my name is Adam Landenberger and I'm an admissions counselor with the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. Today I'm going to be giving you a peek at the UW system application. If you're interested in applying to any UW schools, this is going to be the application you'll be following through. It is found at apply.wisconsin.edu. Today I'm going to be bringing you through a practice application so you can see what it's like. I'll talk to you about why we're asking some questions on the application, some great features as far as saving all your answers if you're applying to multiple schools, and how the cost works at the end of the application too. So let's get started. If you haven't yet made an application account, you can create an account and get started here. I already have one set up, so we are going to go right here to sign in and resume. It's got all that information already saved in there for me, so let's get going. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do once you get into your UW system application account is start an application. So this is just going to say there's lots of different types of applications. We're going to figure out the right one for you. If you're applying to be a degree-seeking student with the university, so you want to get a bachelor's degree, an associate's degree with that UW school, you're going to click on degree. You're going to answer your citizenship, as well as if you have graduated from high school yet. I'm going to pretend like I'm a senior in high school right now and I have not graduated yet, so I'm going to click on no. This is saying I'm going to be applying as a freshman, which is accurate if I'm a high school senior. So let's look at some of the other questions they're going to ask us through the application too. First thing they're asking us is what university do you want to apply to? Obviously, I work for UW Green Bay. I'm going to want to apply to UW Green Bay. So let's click that one for our example today. And then this is going to ask you what kind of program you are interested in studying. If you're not sure what classes or what programs they offer, you can see a full list of them alphabetically if you'd like. Let's say you're interested in business or you're interested in nursing. We've got all those great things on here that you can see alphabetically, or you can go in as an undecided student. So one great thing is that if you don't know what you want to do, that's all right too. With this being alphabetical, you can dig on through, see what kinds of programs we offer, or you can always reach out to admissions counselor too. One thing that's nice to know about the UW system application, at least for UW Green Bay, is that it's not signing you up for a program. If I put down here that I want to do business, that's not something I'm stuck with. So if you start classes at UW Green Bay and you're like, I don't want to do business anymore, it's not the end of the world, you can be an undecided student. Let's click undecided for the example that we're going through today. Undecided is our most popular major at UW Green Bay. Most students won't declare a major until they're either a sophomore or junior, so you got lots of time to figure that out yet. Alright, so let's say that I am a senior in high school right now. I'd be looking at fall 2021 to be starting with the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay for our application here. This is just saying a review of everything. It looks accurate to me, so let's keep going. And now the first thing that it's going to ask you to do is fill out some basic personal information. Your name, it's going to ask you some optional questions right here, so like gender identity, that's an optional one. It's going to ask you some not optional ones too. So let's just quick through here. My name has never changed. This is all optional, so we can skip it. My date of birth we'll put in here. And then we will add in a social security number or tax identification number too. I'm just going to skip that for now. It's giving me a warning saying please put one of those in. I'm just not going to type that for you all today. It is going to help as far as figuring out your residency that you do put in one of those information pieces. My citizenship is the United States. I was born then in the United States. City of birth, I was born in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And my mother has received a bachelor's degree. So let's keep going. Family background, military experience, none for my family myself, and I am not Hispanic, I am white or Caucasian. Obviously, when you're going through this, you're going to take a little bit more time. I'm just trying to show you some of the highlights as far as some common mistakes, as well as important things to remember too. So this here is going to get some more of your contact information. It's already got my work cell in there. I will identify that that is my good address to reach me at. We can go with an address in here. This is the address for the university, but this is just going to say what is your address that you have? This is also going to help you as far as residency. If you're not familiar, residency is how we determine what your tuition cost will be in college. So if the university is having a hard time figuring out if you're going to be an out-of-state student, if you are going to be an in-state student, residency as far as yours as well as your parents are really going to affect what your costs look like in college. So that's why they're asking for this address stuff numerous times, as well as your social security number or tax number too. So we're just going to validate. We're going to say that this looks right to me and that that's the correct address, and we'll say it's my mailing address too. As far as validating, that's just running it through the United States postal system to see if it comes up how they would mail you something. All right, now parent or guardian, we will just put in Amy. That's my mom's name. She's got the same last name, and we'll leave the address in here as the autofill Green Bay stuff that we already had, and she's my mother like I mentioned. And then this all is just some information regarding your parents. We recommend that you get that on in there so we can help with the residency, and you'll see how that comes into effect in a second. I'll skip adding a second parent for now. So this is just saying what type of residency are you claiming. So yes, I am claiming Wisconsin residency. Now it's going to ask some basic questions about my mother's residency. So we have for my mother, it looks like when I clicked autofill, it skipped on back and put my name in there instead. Whoopsies. Let's go back and fix that quick, just so that it doesn't look so funky. Edit, and we'll put Amy. There we go. Now we're good to go. So let's do the questions regarding parent residency once more. So we've got Amy, my mom, U.S. citizen, yes. Physically resided full-time in Wisconsin for the past 12 months, yes. Employed in Wisconsin, and then filed Wisconsin income taxes, yes. One thing you'll notice is once we get some of those questions answered, this will also get rid of some of those extra ones. Now, if you are not a Wisconsin resident, this is also going to help you through this process. And if you are an undocumented individual as well, do not be worried about the UW system application. We do not report anything out to the federal government, so if you are not a legal resident of the United States, I don't think that this will get you or your family in trouble whatsoever. It's just going to be collecting some of that information. If you were to be an undocumented individual, you would fall underneath our out-of-state cost as far as tuition goes, and we've got lots of resources to help out that group of individuals too. All right, then we're going to save and continue, look at some of my academic background. We'll put in here Marinette High School. That's the high school that I graduated from. And you can actually update and submit your transcript right through the application. And now on UW Green Bay's side, what we do is we count that as an unofficial transcript, which is all we need to make an admissions decision. If you have your counselor send on over your high school transcript, that works too, but we will need an official high school transcript from your high school after you graduate as well. But if you want to update your unofficial transcript before you submit the application, you can do so. If you decide not to put in your unofficial transcript before you submit that application, you cannot go back in at a later time and submit it again, just so you're aware. So if you do not submit your unofficial high school transcript while going through the application, your counselor will need to send it to the university, and then we'll still need a copy after you graduate too, just showing that graduation date. So we're going to pretend I'm currently attending there. If I am a senior this year, I started in 2017, and that means I probably graduate in 2020. Oop, 2021. Whoopsies. All right, this is just saying, is that correct? Looks good to me. And then I will manually enter my courses. So we are going to say that I'm taking English. And it's going to be 1 credit because it's for the full year. One thing that you're going to do when you're going through the application is enter in all your senior courses. If your high school transcripts indicate your senior year schedule, you can have that on there as well and sent on over to the university that you plan on applying to, and that will get the exact same information to whoever you are applying to for that university. I'm just going to put 1 course in there just for the sake of this is an example only. All right, this is asking, have you done any college classes? I'm going to say yes. So while I was in high school, I took classes with Green Bay through my high school, University of Wisconsin Green Bay. I took them my senior year, so I started 2020 in this example. I will not earn a degree, and then you can't update an unofficial college transcript too. It's not necessary if you're a high school student going through the application process. We just want to know the list of courses that you're taking with that institution. So this looks good to me. I took classes with UW Green Bay. I also took classes with NWTC, so we'll put them in too. So I currently am taking classes. I did them my senior year of high school, and then I will not get a degree from them either. So this is just asking what classes are you taking. So when I was a senior, I took Business 101. And that was a 3-credit course. Ooh. There we go. And then I also took College English, and that's 102 from when I took it. And that was 3 credits as well. So this is just saying, here are some of the college courses I've taken, and then you can save and continue when you're ready to do so. And now this is going to be one of the very important questions in the application for you seniors this year. So for fall 2021, the UW system is going to be test optional. What this means is that you can or you can decide not to share your ACT or SAT scores with the university you plan on applying to. One thing I always like to mention with UW Green Bay is that your ACT is just going to be another piece of the holistic puzzle that we get to learn information about you with. If it is something that highlights your attributes, feel free to share that. If it's something you're concerned about sharing with us, talk to your admissions counselor and we can help you out with that too. So you've got 3 options. You can have us consider your ACT score, you can have us not consider it, or you can say I'm not quite sure and your admissions counselor will ask you for clarification. I was a good student in high school and I didn't have the best test scores, but with UW Green Bay there isn't a minimum ACT. It's just going to be something that tells us a little bit about you more academically, and we know it's just one test on one day and it doesn't say everything that there is to know about you, which is why we ask you all these other questions through your application too. I'm going to say you can consider it. This is just talking about that holistic background, so there's so much more to you than your GPA, your ACT or SAT scores. You have employment possibly, athletics, student clubs. These are all the things we're going to ask you about next. So this is just saying if you've participated in any activities in high school. I'm going to put down that I am in athletics. I was on the bowling team in high school because I'm not a very athletic human being, but I did that 3 years and that was a high participation, and I did not want to do something like that in college. So we are going to see all the different things that it is students can participate in right here. Fill out that list with whatever you have experiences, if that means volunteering, if that means student council, if that means athletics, any of those types of things we'd love to see. Work experience, you can upload your resume if you'd like, or you can manually enter. I'll put in that I worked for Subway when I was in high school. Eat fresh. So I worked in the United States. It was in Marinette, and that's going to be Wisconsin. I was a sandwich artist. I was employed there in high school, so I'll say that I started 2009, 2019, and I worked about 15 hours a week while in high school. This is just going to be some more information that we get to learn about you. With you indicating any work experience, that's just telling us that you're able to accomplish 2 things at once. Maintain your high school GPA and see what kinds of grades you got, and have that outside of the school experience too. Now next is going to be the essay. Now the essay is one of our favorite parts with the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay and many other universities too. With UW Green Bay there's just one essay. Some universities will require you to fill out more than one in the UW system, but here is the prompt. This part is all about you. Tell us about something you've done academically or personally and what you've learned from it. Was it a success or a challenge, and did it represent a turning point in your life? How does this particular moment in your life influence you, or how will it continue to influence you as you pursue your college education? So in the essay, we just want to learn things about you that we can't see on a piece of paper. If you have great grades, a great ACT, brag about it. If you are not the best student and your junior year you decided you needed to buckle down and really pay attention to your classes and you got a lot better grades, talk about that. Say, I didn't apply myself when I was a freshman or sophomore. Chances are we're going to notice that based off of your transcripts, but you can tell us what you did to start doing better in school. If you want to talk about any activities you participated in, if you want to talk about what you'd like to do as far as a major. These are all things that we can't see on a piece of paper unless you tell us about them. So we'd love to hear more about you, and if you want your admissions counselor to read over your essay before you even submit it, just let them know and I'm sure they'd be glad to do so. So I'm just going to write, Adam has an essay prepared. If you want to write it in a Word document or a Google Doc and you want to copy and paste it into the application, that's a great way to do it too, just to do some grammar checking. It has some word limits over there, but whatever amount you'd like to write that works best for you is a great amount. So most students write anywhere between 2 to 3 paragraphs. It doesn't need to be a 6-page essay whatsoever. It won't let you continue unless you have something typed here, so you're going to put in that excellent essay that your admissions counselor has already looked down over for you, and you're going to be able to continue. All right, this is just saying application review, which means we're almost at the end. It's saying I'm applying to UW Green Bay, and then there's a cost to that. If students were looking at the actual application right now, they would notice that they do not have a cost that's prompting for them. So with the UW system, some schools are doing no cost application periods. So with UW Green Bay, we're having no cost applications for students applying for 2021 terms until October 31st of this year, 2020. If students have any cost concerns as far as they qualify for free or reduced lunch, COVID has affected their family financials or anything like that, they can certainly put in a reasoning as to why they're having some financial hardship after October 31st, and they'll be able to get some assistance from the UW system too as far as a fee waiver. If there's any questions whatsoever about cost with the application, reach out to the university that you're applying to and they'd be glad to help you on out. We are going to continue here. And one other nice thing about the application is you can apply to multiple campuses at once. So we did this application to UW Green Bay. If you want to apply to another one of the universities, that's an option too. So we're going to hit continue. Oops, we're going to jump back down to this one. We're going to hit continue here, and then it's going to ask you to sign the application, and you are good to go. Another great thing about the UW system application is after you have applied and completed that application, signed electronically, all those good things, you'll be able to download a PDF of the application you just submitted. With that, you'll also be able to download a PDF as far as what else the university you just applied to is looking for. They'll most likely be needing your high school transcripts if you didn't upload them. They'll be asking you if you want to submit your ACT or SAT scores based off the question you answered in the application. And then it's very possible that they might ask you for your senior year schedule if they don't have a full copy of that, or some additional residency questions if that pops up for you too. So once an application is complete, it is very likely that you'll be hearing from the college that you have applied to about next steps and an admissions decision shortly thereafter. As far as UW Green Bay goes, once a student has a complete application, students hear back in 1 to 2 weeks on an admissions decision. Another great thing about UW Green Bay is as soon as your application is received and all loaded up for your admissions counselor to see, you'll be getting a call from them, a text, an email, all those great things to make sure that you are up to date as far as your application process so that we can get you a complete application and that decision within a 2-week period. Any questions, you can always reach out to your admissions counselor or GBOS, which is Green Bay's one-stop shop. They're like the Google at UW Green Bay for an application update. You can always contact them at 920-465-2111, and I hope to see that application soon.